A chaebol is a large, family-controlled industrial conglomerate and a significant part of South Korea's economy and includes some of the country's largest companies, such as Samsung, Hyundai, LG, and SK Group. They have been involved in many aspects of South Korean society, including politics, culture, and the economy. The explainer video illustrates how chaebol have shaped South Korea's economic landscape, from their origins in post-colonial privatization to the present-day debates over their role in society. Their influence spans economic policy, political corruption, and social inequality, making chaebol reform a persistent and complex issue. 1. Formation of the chaebol and early corruption. The origins of chaebol can be traced back to the post-World War II era when South Korea's first president, Syngman Rhee, sold off assets seized from Japanese colonial holdings and other state-owned entities. These sales were conducted through private negotiations rather than public auctions, allowing select business elites to acquire valuable companies at significantly lower prices. This laid the foundation for the rise of business groups such as Tongyang, now Oriental Breweries, Daehan Textile, and others. For example, the acquisition of companies like Tongyang Cement by these business elites set the stage for the chaebol to emerge as dominant players in the South Korean economy. The process closely resembled Japan's zaibatsu model, where industrial conglomerates wielded considerable influence over the economy. 2. Crony capitalism under Park Chung-hee. When Park Chung-hee took power through a military coup in 1961, he initially cracked down on chaebol corruption, but quickly formed a mutually beneficial relationship with them. His administration lent chaebol foreign currency loans at below-market interest rates to help them acquire foreign technology and expand their industries. In return, the chaebol contributed funds to support Park's political campaigns through kickbacks on loans, ensuring continued government support and favorable regulations. Hyundai's founder Chung Ju-young and Daewoo's Kim Woo-young, for instance, maintained close relationships with Park, which enabled their companies to grow exponentially. By the 1980s, chaebol had become integral to the South Korean economy, accounting for nearly 20% of the nation's GDP and 45% of mining and manufacturing output. However, this concentration of economic power suffocated small and medium-sized enterprises, SMEs, as chaebol grew at their expense. 3. Chaebol influence post-democratization, 1987 onwards. Following democratization in 1987, chaebol continued to wield significant political influence, using their economic power to shape policies in their favor. For instance, the Daewoo Group managed to lobby the National Assembly to amend a law allowing a government bailout for Daewoo Shipbuilding Corporation. The chaebol's access to foreign capital, facilitated by government liberalization reforms, led to a massive debt boom that contributed to the 1997 Asian financial crisis. Complex cross-ownership structures within chaebol groups, such as Samsung, obscured financial health and resulted in market inefficiencies. The conglomerates used profitable subsidiaries to prop up struggling ones, leading to economic vulnerabilities. 4. The 1997 Asian financial crisis and reforms. The financial crisis exposed the risks associated with chaebol-dominated economic structures, prompting reforms under Presidents Kim Dae-jung and Roh Moo-hyun. These reforms aimed to reduce debt and limit cross-shareholding among chaebol affiliates. For example, Hanjin Shipping had to reduce its debt-to-equity ratio by selling assets, which affected its competitiveness. The car industry also saw significant changes, with the number of independent car companies shrinking from 5 to just Hyundai. The reforms forced chaebol to streamline operations and separate non-core affiliates, reducing the total number of chaebol-affiliated companies from 819 in 1997 to 544 by 2000. 5. Social consequences and inequality. The reforms, while successful in some respects, had significant social impacts. For instance, in negotiations after the 1997 crisis, the chaebol secured the right to lay off workers more easily, leading to widespread job losses. Many workers who lost their jobs struggled to find regular employment, resulting in irregular work patterns and contributing to South Korea's high elderly poverty rate, which is 4 times the OECD average. Economic inequality widened, with the top 1% of Korean society's income share rising from 7% before 1997 to 12% by the mid-2010s. This reflected a concentration of wealth within chaebol families and executives, while many ordinary Koreans experienced economic stagnation. 6. The Sewol Ferry Disaster, 2014. The sinking of the Sewol Ferry, which claimed 304 lives, highlighted the issue of regulatory capture. The ferry had been overloaded, and safety regulations were ignored. The close relationship between regulatory agencies and the ferry company allowed for continued violations, with government employees often transitioning into lucrative industry positions. The company's monopoly over the Incheon-Jeju ferry route continued despite these violations, pointing to a lack of market pressure or regulatory enforcement to ensure safety. 7. Recent political responses and mixed results. The administration of Moon Jae-in, who came to power after President Park Geun-hye's impeachment, introduced reforms targeting chaebol influence. Higher taxes and business regulations aimed to curb the power of these conglomerates. Although public opinion seemed to improve regarding the government's efforts to address inequality, the economic dependence on chaebol, such as Samsung's substantial share of export revenue, limited the scope for deep reforms. If you like this video, please encourage our team by clicking like button and subscribe our channel. This will motivate us to make more such videos.